Hi, it's Adam from RC Action Australia. How's everybody out there today? So on today's episode, I'm going to try and do some sort of research and a little bit of insight into the Tamiya Superstock RZ motor, and obviously the advantages of fitting some bearings to the motor. Now, I've just, I'm going to use my Top Force Evo build as a sort of base for the tests. So if you haven't checked out those videos, guys, hit a couple of the links above. So I've pulled the motor out of the car, obviously, but as you can see there, we've got our nice Top Force and my sort of Evo tribute build there. So very happy with how that came out, guys. Obviously in the background we've got our Javelin. Obviously I did an unboxing video of that, so you can check out that video as well. So on to today's video. I have taken the car out and given it a little bit of a blast, so I'll flick to that footage now. We got 39 kilometers per hour on a 2S LiPo with that sort of factory sort of setup of the car with a Hobbywing 1060 and obviously the RZ motor without bearings. So I'll flick to that footage, just a quick running up and down the driveway, plenty of room to get top speed. And then we'll come back, we'll pull the motor apart, chuck the bearings in. I'll do another quick speed run, guys, and we'll see if it makes a difference. Okay guys, so we've got the motor obviously here. As you can see, it's a nice looking motor. I've never pulled one of these apart, so it's the first time I've ever pulled one apart. I did notice that there is a little timing marker here, so I've just put a little mark up onto the top of the motor there, just so I can get that back into the correct position. Obviously these are our little ceramic bearings. So we'll get on to pulling the motor apart now. And as I said, this is a first for me, guys, but it just looks like there's a couple of screws on either side of the top mounting here, and obviously we need to undo our spring retainers for the bushes. So as you can see, the motor came apart quite easy, just those two screws and obviously removing the bushing springs and the brushes. So what we've got to obviously do is we've got to get the bushing, we've got to get this brass bushing out of the top of the motor and replace it with one of the bearings, and obviously inside the end bell of the motor we obviously need to replace that one as well. So I think, yep, that just pulls out of there. So as you can see, pretty much a brand new motor. The first time it's actually been run is in this car. So the motor came apart pretty easily, guys. I was actually concerned that these brass bushings were going to be pretty difficult to get out of the motor, but they actually just came out quite easily. I just put a set of small pliers on the end and just tapped gently with a little hammer, and they came out very easily. So very happy with that. So it's just a matter of, obviously, you can see that's our bushings versus our bearings. So they should go back in pretty easily. Obviously, that one's going to be a little bit more difficult in the end. As you can see, the bearing's stuck to the magnet. So we'll get on and I'll get on and put those in because it might be a bit fiddly, and we'll get the motor all buttoned back up. Okay guys, so after many attempts, I finally got the bearing in the bottom of the motor. It was just very difficult because every time you go to put it in, it was up against the magnet, so I sort of had to work my way in there and just push it into where it's going to be. And then I got a flat piece of metal and obviously just gently tap that in with a hammer into the bottom position there. The top one was very, very easy. That just slid straight into the housing, and we've just got to put the motor back together now. So that all should just slide in there quite easily, like so. So we're all back together there, and obviously the top of the motor will go back on as well. So I'll go and do all that, and then we'll put it back in the car, and we'll see if there's any advantages over changing the bushings to bearings. Okay, so it's back in the chassis there, guys, as you can see, and I'll just go and get the car back outside. We'll see what it goes like. Hopefully there is some improvement, and we'll have a little bit of a chat and debrief after the next run. So hopefully you liked today's video, guys, on the bearing upgrades for the Tamiya Superstock motor. As you can see from the small little clips, it made no difference whatsoever to top end performance. Some things that I did notice was the car did seem to throttle smoother, but then again, you know, by the time the car goes through multiple gearboxes, many bearings, outdrives, out to the wheels, you know, I very much doubt that the bearing upgrade offers a lot of performance upgrades to the motor, but I could probably conclude in saying that the main advantages are probably that the engine temperature may stay cooler for prolonged use, and obviously the engine maintenance may be affected as well. If it runs cooler, runs slightly smoother, you know, and it may obviously be more efficient for long-term battery use as well. So obviously I've proved my point that I didn't really think that it was going to be a performance advantage at all. Obviously if you tested a car, and I know I have done in the past, you know, using plastic bushings and you upgrade the whole car to bearings, yes, there are some noticeable differences with that, but or maybe it's just the top Force chassis. We didn't see any advantages from adding the bearings to the motor. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you consider to hit like and subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. I've got a lot of other projects, guys, so I'm going to start to get on with some of those. So thank you very much for watching again.